Welcome, Bronco Nation, to your 2026 spring game post game. Um, it was quite the atmosphere. It was great to see the new talent on the iconic blue. Um, Hoping that Sam will jump in here. He is my co-host for today. There you are.
Yep. Well, Nick, spring game, spring football. The it's just a little teaser, and then we have to wait a few months till we get the main dish. How was the appetizer?
Oh, it was great. Where I was sitting right about the 50-yard line. Um, had a bunch of it was junior day, so they had a bunch of the recruits coming in and their families. I actually sat next to Carter Kukumbu's parents, so got to chop it up with them. But yeah, this is there's a little bit of a different twist in this spring game. Um, so let's get after it.
Yep. Before we jump in right into spring game, Cage Casey, just before the spring game kicked off, was drafted by the Denver Broncos in the fourth round at number 11. What are your thoughts on that? Too high, too low, or just right?
Well, we talked about it with Billy Bowens on Thursday night's Bronco Nation Live, and he was saying that this kind of stuff happens with the Broncos, where you think that they probably will go a little bit higher, but the teams out there, they know what kind of product they're getting. They know that when they get a Bronco in the doors, they can develop them and get them on the cheap. So it doesn't surprise me that he went in the fourth round. I was thinking it probably between the second and third round, but um, maybe a little bit lower than we anticipated. But it seems about right. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that, you hit every nail on the head. Boise State has a history of producing offensive linemen for the NFL, most notably, obviously, Ryan Clady, but and who went to the Broncos. So here we go. We got Cage Casey going to the Broncos. Uh, Great athlete, and I think that things will work out for him there.
Yeah, and I think it's a great fit for him. Sean Payton's a hell of a coach. He's got J.L. Skinner right there on the roster as well.
Yeah.
Got a pretty good young quarterback there, so I think it's a good spot for him. I think going into the draft, they were talking about maybe him going in as guard, or if at the minimum, maybe trying his hand at the center just to get some versatility and get some playing time. But really happy for Cage, and I think it's going to be a nice spot for him.
Yeah. Well, let's segue using the offensive line. We had some offensive line magic today. Nick, you want to kind of run us through what happened with Tyler Etheridge?
Yeah, man. So the O line is kind of thin today. You had Carry-On and Cox on the bench for the spring game, but they had some of the young guys in there and the transfers, and we did see a little bit of trickeration. We saw a pass over to transfer prospect Tyler Etheridge. He caught it, ran it in for a touchdown. I believe you're showing the highlights here.
Yep.
We did the best that we could to catch that one. But some really good some different things this spring game, and that was definitely one of the surprises. Throwing that out, not only getting the guard out there, making a trick play, but also him being a transfer, just plugging him right in there and putting his feet to the fire. I thought that was really amazing.
Yeah, and we get a good look at the north end zone right there. How's that look in person? Did you get to go and look and see around during the spring game, or did you just get to see from afar?
I went up there a little bit. Let me see, that would be section 9 and 10, I think. But yeah, they still got quite a bit of finishing up to do, especially right there at field level, putting in those seats in that main level right above the foyer or whatever that is up there. But yeah, they still got quite a bit of work to do, but they got plenty of time to do it over the summer.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep it right here with offense, and let's talk about some Rayshawn magic. I think that's
Yeah.
Rayshawn.
Yeah,
there we go. Yep.
Out of Mountain High, moved over from Baker to be closer to Idaho for his senior year. He's been really impressing during spring camp, and then one of the more dazzling plays of this afternoon was this touchdown catch to Rayshawn Jones. He's got a really good body type for the receivers, 6'2", 199. So he can get out there, get some, make his routes and get position with that kind of a body. And from what I saw this afternoon at the spring game.
Yeah. Maddox Madsen, is he, in your opinion, watching him play today, has he kind of worked on some of the things that his critics have been most critical of last year?
I think with Mad Dog, there's always gonna be critics, but for a spring game and getting his feet under him, coming back from that injury that he had last season, and he tried to come back to the bowl game, but had to dip out. But Mad Dog looks like this the efficient Mad Dog that he is, leader on the field. But he's still got the whole summer to continue to hone in and get that conditioning in to get really ready for that opener against Oregon.
Yeah. Well, Nick, is there anything before we move on to the next one, anything over the last few guys that we've talked about that stands out to you outside of obviously the transfers getting in there, right in there? And of course, you got Rayshawn moving and grooving. But what with those two would you say is probably the most promising that you saw today, notwithstanding the highlights we just watched?
Well, actually what's on my mind forefront is there is a concern about the line. Great to see Tyler Etheridge out there and make that play, but I'm hoping that over the summer we can get the line healed up, and because there's a lot of questions on it, and then also we saw that our 4-star recruit today have a lower leg injury today, unfortunately, and so Cole Cronin was carted off the field. Hoping that it's nothing major, because we really need all the help that we can on the line, losing talent like Cage Casey and Mason Rudolph moving on after graduation. So I'm really concerned about that. That's my main thing coming out of this spring game. As far as the receivers, you had Ben Ford. He's still recovering. He didn't see any action today, but he was out there. He was on the bench, leading the receiving corps and rallying him up and stuff. But really like the size of Rayshawn Jones. Still a lot to be proven. He is a freshman, so there's a lot of camp to go through, especially when they're going back into fall. And we haven't seen this yet, but when we get back into it, we did have another dazzling play of 62 yards by Monte Cash Williams. Really like his size. He's a 6'5" receiver with some good speed. So a lot of new faces on the receiving core, but like what I saw from Mad Dog and also from Max Cutford and Cachoeira.
Yeah, and we got Connor LeGros going to be coming in too. He wasn't able to get there early, but that's another lineman we can add to that backup if need be, who is thirsty for action as a freshman. So, and we got to talk to him at length, and he wants to play as a freshman, so he's working for that.
Yeah, we had him on one of our recent Blue Turf talks with him. He's he's itching to come here in the mecca of college football, the iconic blue. He's already doing Boise State workouts, and he's got his focus on getting his opportunity to start right away. And he's another offensive tackle, so we're going to really need that depth, and hopefully he'll be able to come in and contribute.
Yeah. So you made mention to it, so let's jump in there and watch it. 62-yard touchdown pass and catch. Why don't you run us through what you saw and how excited you are to see this connection throughout the year?
Yeah, to me, this was probably the highlight of the game. Others will say Rashawn's was, but to me, this was a flea flicker, and Mad Dog threw a bullet. Like I said, for a 62-yard touchdown to Cash Williams. It was beautiful, and if some Mad Dog's retractors have always said, well, he can't throw the long ball. Well, he did a very good job here off a trick option, and so to me, I think that this was probably the play of the game.
Yeah, as we watch it again, I wanted to look and see if this was a rope through the air, if he threw it kind of a lob. I'm kind of waiting for it to come back around to it. But you say he silenced his critics with the long ball. And here we go. We're looking. Yeah, that's 60, 70 yards in the air with the drop back he did. 60 yards in the air with the drop back. So at least 50 anyway. How was he all day? Not just this play for Mad Dog, but all day and completing those long balls.
Well, he didn't throw a lot of long balls. There was an emphasis when he was in onto getting to the backup running back some carries. You saw Chavies get a bulk of carries. You saw Morris back there getting some carries to transfer. So I mean, the offense that we saw when Mad Dog was in there was the offense that we normally see. Pretty distributed. Not a lot of long passes, but this is a good sample size for Bronco Nation to kind of like take a pause on and give Mad Dog a chance. He's currently number 8 on the all-time passing list, which is nothing to sneeze at. But all the other backups are getting some reps in spring camp, and so I mean, coming off the injury, he's with that flat foot, he looked pretty decent today, I would say.
Yeah, sounds like you had a bunch of fans walking by. All right.
Tell Bronco Nation what you thought. Okay.
All right.
We got a fan right here. Tell me who you are.
Wendy Askew.
This is one of our loyal fans of Bronco Nation update. What did you think about the?
Oh my gosh, I think we're gonna have a great year.
What was your favorite part about the spring game?
I think that so many people contributed on the sidelines from not only from athletic, but I mean, I think defense and offense. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have a great year.
There was plenty of offensive highlights, and there was also some good stuff on defense too, right?
That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, offense and defense are. Oh my gosh, they're gonna have a battle. It's gonna be good year.
what did you think about the atmosphere? A little bit different this year with the spring game.
It was a little bit different, but you know what? I think there was a lot of people there, which I appreciate the support. So let's go Bronco Nation. Keep supporting them.
What did you think about because they did some one-on-one. Normally
I
we don't
I
do that.
did like that. I thought it was amazing. Yeah, and you know what? We see that, and then we see the uniqueness. I liked it.
Well, thanks for coming on. Really
You're welcome.
appreciate you. All your
Thank you,
support
Nate.
on Bronco Nation
Thank you.
Update.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. That's Wendy. She's awesome.
All right.
Good.
Go Broncos!
All right. Well, Nick, we saw earlier in the week videos of Favors absolutely trucking and moving and grooving, and we're gonna watch this next one. What was your reaction whenever this passing catch happened
With T-Fib?
with Favors?
Yeah. Yeah. So T-Fib was on the orange team. And that was basically the orange team is kind of like your second team on offense. But he made some really clutch catches from the backups, and I think he's obviously he's got speed, he's got good hands, and just a limited sample size of him, but I think he's going to work his way into some roles. I highly doubt that he's going to redshirt this year, just because of what we know about him being a 4-star athlete out of Georgia. But yeah, just some clutch catches from him, and as a freshman, he's probably the outside of Rashawn Jones, he's the other freshman probably to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's seeing all the practice highlights come in. It's kind of impressive to see what he can do. And like you said, if they redshirt him, we may not get to see him on the blue. So it's one of those deals where you got to start him while you can. And
you know what? He'll probably get a lot of action on special teams, punt return, because he's got the talent that you can't leave on the bench. So they're gonna work him in somehow. But it wouldn't surprise me if we did see him on some offensive packages. Kind of splitting time between him and Quentin Brown.
Yeah. Well, shall we talk a little defense?
Sure.
Let's talk about Franklin. What can you tell us about Franklin and his output today?
Yeah, so he's he's been one of since he got to Boise State. He's been one of the heavy hitters. Hasn't got a lot of time, but each year he's improved and improved. So I wouldn't. I think that this may be one of those. This may be the year that he breaks out. They have a lot of DBs on the roster, and he's on the blue there, just making his presence there on defense. Obviously, you can see he's on the blue squad, which is their on top of the depth chart. So I think that we're going to see a lot of Frank this year. Frank. And I think that he's gonna have a lot of opportunities to put the pounding on some of these Pac-12 receivers.
Yeah. All right. Well, as I get my next batch of videos ready to roll, let's stay with defense and talk a little K-Wood. K-Wood had himself a nice little stuff today. There we go. What stood out most about Kaywood today in his performance?
Well, last year, Roman just, as the season progressed, it was undeniable that he was going to be a force on defense, and today was no different. He made his case. I think that he's going to be, I think they're going to. I've heard that they may be working him in on edge, but I really like him at linebacker, and he might give the transfer out of Kansas a run for his money, or even the guy from South Dakota at Mike. But Roman Kaywood had a killer day. We got Josh in the house, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, what's up?
What's up, Josh?
How you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Today? Yeah.
All right. Well, for those that don't know, Josh was a regular contributor on Bourbon Beer and Basketball, and now he's contributing on football. And hopefully we get to have him on some of our Thursday shows filling in, so you don't only have to look at Nick and me. So, Josh, what was your knee-jerk reactions of the day?
A lot of things to clean up, but a couple quarterbacks who can put some spin on the ball for sure.
Yeah.
Really, Cash's throws are crisp and they come out quick. Jackson has a little more loft, a little more arch on the ball, but decent except for the one pick six. That was, a spring game, and they've seen each other in practice a lot, so it wasn't ideal. Yeah, that was not ideal. Yeah, not bad overall. I don't feel like it was. I took some notes as the game went on, so pardon me for looking at my.
Real quick, I asked Nick this earlier. Did Maddox Madsen, did he kind of show that the kind of do things to silence the critics from last year, or is he still the same old Mad Dog?
Yeah, no, I don't know that he had to silence people, but he did. I think he's number one in my head right now. He looks poised, collected. He just looks more confident. I don't know. There was a little bit more of a confidence after those.
And I give him credit.
He looked like he's ready for Oregon.
He looks more confident. I'll say that.
Credit for last season he battled through that turf toe, and he looked like the same old Mad Dog, but a little bit better because he hit that 2-yard catch the catch room.
Yeah, was that the flea flicker? Yeah, that was a great pass. No lasting injury from what it looked like. He moved well, and I didn't see any signs of that. Derek Ganter Jr. looked really good on defense. Kaywood looked great on defense. Harry Stewart.
We were just talking to Kaywood.
Yeah, Stewart is strong. Short, but he's stocky, and I'm excited to see him with some third and short.
They gave him a lot of carries.
Yeah, they did. Chavis looks great. Like, what, as a fourth guy maybe on the depth chart, I was really impressed with him too.
We didn't see Dylan Riley at all. I didn't see him at all.
I saw him on the sideline, had the shorts and the jersey on.
Was he on the Orange side?
Yeah, he was on the other side.
So Josh was on the east side and I was on the west side. So we had it covered from both sides.
Yeah. Cole Cronin, that looked pretty painful. He was in some pretty big agony. We were right above the table where we could see him, but no weight, unfortunately. But didn't look dejected. So hopefully he can shake that one off in the next few months.
At least that happened in the spring game. At least that happened in the spring game so that he can recover and be ready to go.
Completely. And last thing, Rashawn Jones, man, that dude is a baller, and I hope and pray we can keep him for more than 2 years. But he's legit. I've heard all the hype, and yep, he matched up. That one-handed catch was unreal.
And good. It's a good possibility because he was all in. He moved from Baker over to Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
Finished off senior year there. And,
Yeah.
came in early, and yeah,
Totally.
I'm hoping that it pans out. We really need the wide receivers this year. You know, and between him and Cash,
Yeah.
that's the height that we need. That 6'2", 6'5".
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look good overall.
Yeah,
Lots of stuff.
we have the
They were-
Rashawn Jones catch pulled up here. What was your thoughts whenever you saw that happen, Josh?
Couldn't believe he held on to it with the one hand, and I feel like he was getting pulled. I can't see super well, but they didn't throw the flag, I don't think,
No.
but it was definitely PI and just went
Wow.
up and got it. Amazing, truly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that
Just,
I look at
I mean,
that's almost up there with that 62-yarder. You know, now that I see it from this angle.
Yeah. And you know who else? Like I don't know that it shocked me, but kind of lived up to some hype that I've seen over the last 4 months. Is Darius Favors. He got targeted a lot, fast, and for a shorter guy, has a lot of power. He bursts through a defender and doesn't let them push him back.
Yeah. We got a couple highlights of him.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a lot of them as much as I would like because he was on the orange team.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
from the little sample size that we got, I think it's gonna work out.
And Zeke Martinez with some runs, and he's a stocky dude too. He looks like he put on a little muscle over the last year, from what I remember because he played here in Meridian or out in Meridian, I guess.
well,
Yeah, he was.
while we're on the Zeke train, here's a Zeke highlight here. Maybe. There we go. So we'll go large screen on this so people can see it better. But you say he's a stocky runner, put on some weight. What's your obviously outside of that? What's your overall call for him?
What do you think? Do you think maybe they're converting him to a halfback?
Yeah. It's tough when you got a QB. That's what that's been his world. And I hate to say it, it may be obvious that his spot is more, maybe 4th or 5th on the chart, but he's a football player. He just wants to get out there, and him running over guys, I would say that would tell the coaching staff a lot. I'm not scared. I'm going to play whatever you tell me to play. Let's go.
And that's what I was thinking when I kept seeing him, like they're running him, like, all right, he's going to do whatever it takes to get on the blue.
Yeah.
You got to love those kind of players. Those are the blue collar,
Yes.
the OKGs that we all love.
Completely. Right? That's the past 20 years. This whole thing has been built on OKGs, and he is that guy for sure.
Yeah. And you see him run into the line there and carry him for another 2-3 yards to get the first down. So that's the kind of Ashton Genty muscle hamster type mentality that we need and really missed a lot of on 3rd and short last year, even with Sire Gaines.
Yeah. I got a lot of reverence for Dan Paul, but I mean that right there, that's the Dan Paul spirit right there. Do whatever it takes. And like the first run I saw, I'm like, wait a minute, did I just see number 15 running the? I thought it was a running, a big fullback, or Tyler Crow or somebody like that.
It wouldn't shock me. I don't know. They tend to go the hammer with guys that are playing a lot, but it would not shock me to see Zeke carry the hammer at some point this year because of that thing. Yeah, he's got that Dan Paul thing in him.
Yeah, I just mentioned Sire Gaines, and here we have some Sire Gaines highlight here. How did he look in spring ball? Like not missing a beat, or is Zeke gonna kind of maybe get in there and vie for some time?
Sire looks good. He looks crisp, powerful. He didn't miss any beat over the offseason. Even my wife was sitting there and she looked at me about halfway through and goes, "Sire looks really good right now." Agreed. Yeah. Is he day one RB1?
I think what they're going to do is I think they're going to 50-50 maybe give even more to Dylan. I think Dylan being out today is just like, all right, we're going to rest probably the guy that we may be going with more, but we're going to put an orange jersey on him.
Yeah.
Kind of a Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
But Sire looked great. He converted on a couple third downs.
Yeah.
You're going to get if you want to tackle Sire, you're going to you're going to want to make sure that you know what you're in store for.
Yeah, and this highlight here, great first down run, which is another thing we were missing last year, is the ability to not get behind the sticks on first down. And so being able to see this, granted it's against your second team defense, but still, to Josh's point that he made earlier, being able to see that really against people that you see every day. So being able to see that kind of run is really good to see.
It's I feel good. If Riley and Siren need that first down to sit for a minute with Harry and Zeke, that excites me for 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 10 all year long, because pushing forward, Harry Stewart especially, that dude does not go backwards.
Yeah, he looks really good. And then, you know, again, you just have a running back room that's stacked, because we haven't even seen Morris, the guy from Pitt.
That's right.
And then you have Kellen Davis, a freshman, and he looks pretty good, number 23. He got a lot of touches, and you know, did really decent for a freshman.
Those are guys that when you need that spark and you're down 7, you're down 10, going middle of third quarter, and you just need somebody to hype a team up, get Zeke and Harry in there, and they just bulldoze somebody for a first down and get that team amped back up. Those could be a couple little moments this season to watch out for.
What do you think? Do you think maybe they use Zeke on like the goal line, some of that Clydesdale stuff to kind of, and then those type of plays that they use Tyler Crow with?
Totally.
Years ago?
Yeah, he's a shorter Crow. Maybe they're probably similar height, I guess. Yeah, a lot of Clydesdale, short goal line situations.
Then you got Tyler Etheridge.
That's right.
Saw that?
That was awesome. That was a cool moment, and we were sitting right behind him when he came to the bench, and every single player on the Orange team, I saw, came over to him and patted him on the shoulder. That was cool.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about tight ends, shall we?
Ooh. Wags looks good. It's hard to take down. He had a couple good catches.
Local ties with his dad, and then you had Gave Brown, Ronda Rousey's stepson.
That's right.
He made a good play. He looks really stout.
Yeah.
That tight end room is really stacked too. I was sitting right next to Carter Kukabu's parents. He didn't get very many touches. He's a 6'5", 260-pound tight end.
Yeah. Some size there for sure. I think Wags seems to be the guy, and I think that's deservedly so.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But they've got a lot of experience there, and coming off a lot of years where he was able to impart some of his tight end wisdom on them. That's probably one of my least worries this year as far as production, hopefully.
And then Austin Terry was in there.
That's right.
He's a senior tight end. He's helped us out on some of those Christmas outreaches.
Yeah.
And I think he had a couple of good plays. I didn't get any videos of him, but same kind of mentality that Wags has. Just stiff arm and get off me, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Completely. Troy Griswold got a couple of looks. I can't remember if he caught any. He's obviously an option, probably not up there, but maybe he's one of those once or twice a season. He sneaks out and fades out when nobody looks at him, and he's there for a pass that's wide open. So he gives you another look at least.
I think we're seeing, Coach B says that the talent builds the foundation of the character, determines how far up the ceiling is. I think we're seeing stuff like from Troy Griswold and Zeke Martinez, some of those intangible things that we need is, the legacy blue collar G6 team. I think we're seeing those types of personalities kind of rise to the top. Because I saw Troy Griswold make some, even though they're not the dazzling plays, he makes those plays that you need, like what we saw last year when we saw that touchdown pass from
the drop
from Oscar Doyle.
Yeah. Exciting to have a local guy too. That that blue collar mentality, and I hope that can withstand all this NIL stuff. And it felt more intense this year than it has in the past too.
Yeah. Well, Josh, what was your overall impressions of the day? both offense, defense, and special teams?
Defense came up with some big stops. They were able to push through some offensive line force a little bit, which I don't know that shocked me. I know we're not looking at our top 5 offensive guys on the line right now, but they pushed better than I anticipated. The passing game looked fine, I think, for spring. I mean, they got all off season to work on some things, and Maddox is our guy, I think, no doubt. But Cash Ferreira really surprised me with the zip and the speed in which it leaves his hand. That was pretty impressive. Overall, good. I'm excited for it. Oregon scares me, obviously. I think they're coming in at number 2 preseason. So, yeah, but up and up, hopefully. That's the goal. If we can get those 2 first games and be 1-1, Memphis is not an easy game either. So,
yeah.
I mentioned to Sam that I'm concerned about the offensive line, especially opening up against Oregon.
Yeah.
You know, we saw Roger carry on and Kyle Cox on the bench. Also, the big Carl Oxley guy who's on the bench. I'm hoping that they can build some over the summer.
Yeah.
Hopefully, nothing too major wrong with the whole Cronin before it starts through out of Nevada. So I don't know about you. Are you concerned about if there's one concern, would it be the offensive line? We're losing Cade Casey and Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
And so
those 2 guys, I mean, it's hard to replace experience on a line. And those guys have had it. So especially with Cade being out, he's been the staple for a long time. So it does concern me where maybe some of that breaks down. Hopefully the running back room can pick up with speed of Dylan Riley and power with Sire and Harry Stewart. But we'll see. I don't know. I am worried about Oregon, no doubt.
it would really help our line if we could, keep the defense on their heels and but that's what they paid Zach Hill and Nate Potter the big bucks to come up with a game plan against Oregon. They got all off season to do it. I'm hoping that they can do it and knowing that, hey, the offensive line is unproven. We're going to be working on that story throughout the postseason and doing our investigation.
I am
What,
glad a lot of confidence in them.
What did you think of the one-on-ones to start the game?
Those were fun. Those were, and I think I heard like they can challenge at any point. Is that right? That was a really cool little mini game within the bigger game. Yeah, that was fun. It just amps up the team, gets some excitement going. Watching the coaches jump up and chest bump their players, that was really cool to see.
And I'm going to be writing an in-depth article about restructuring what it means to get back to going back to the basics of history and the break matches and that blue collar practicing and stuff like that. I love what they're doing here.
Completely.
Hey Sam, just to give you a hint, but I'm on 20% battery here, so
let's wrap it up then. Let's get your final thoughts, fellas. Nick, we got Josh's overall view, offense, defense, special teams. How are you feeling going into Oregon just after the spring game?
I really like what I saw with the receiving corps. There's a lot of questions. We lost Chris Marshall last year. He went back to the SEC. Trell's gone. So really all we have is Cam Bates coming back and Ford and Ben Ford after the injury. But I'm really I like what I saw today with the receiving corps. I'm optimistic on that. I think we're going to have a great running attack again. And then I really want to see Mad Dog get to 110%. I hope. And then really start building back that confidence in Bronco Nation. And I think he is going to do it. Like you just saw a hint of that with that 62-yard pass. That's what Bronco Nation's kind of been dogging him about. But he's, you're going to get the same leadership. Again, he's top 8 in school history of passing yards. pretty good player.
Yeah.
But again, my concern is on the offensive line, so I'm hoping that gets shored up and a good two games that we start out, one in Oregon and here with
yeah. I would echo the offensive line. If you had to pick a top concern, that would be it. Edge on defense looks great, and that's led by JVM. There's no doubt they're going to be ready. Can they break through Oregon's line? That'll be the question. But yeah, offensive line would definitely be the concern.
And then also, with that too is we want to see how the DBs work out, how they take that whole big room and kind of how that works out. And I think that Nikki's going to be one of the leaders on the defense, and then they're going to have a lot of competition over the summer.
Yeah, Jaden Mickey was on the orange side, and several times as guys were coming off, he pulled them off to the side and was going through very, very nuanced technique on arm position when you're playing defense, on how to position your body. You could hear him coaching those guys, which is great to see from a player.
All right.
So I would say for me, it's the offensive line and how the DB room works out, because both of those two areas, we saw a lot of turnover, but we do have a couple veterans that can be the foundation for this. So hoping to see how that works out in our favor.
Good deal. Well, fellas, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining Bronco Nation and giving us that update from spring game. We look forward to getting back with y'all later this year and going over maybe some recruits in a later show. So thank you guys. Nick, you want me to go ahead and close the show out, or you got something special you want to say?
No, just, follow our channel. You're going to get updates and recruiting news all off season long. Yep. It's a privilege that we get to do this for you. So thanks for watching.
Yep. And we're a little over 200 subscribers short of being able to monetize, and a little over 2,000 watch hours per year from being able to monetize. So like, share, follow, subscribe, tell your friends and family to do the same thing. And not just Boise State fans. We've got the hat trick covering the hockey NHL playoffs. We got Bourbon Bear and basketball during college basketball season, covering the entirety of the NCAA. And we've got the college football roundtable covering the entire NCAA for football. So join the show, join the channel, join all of our shows, even if it's just in the background, because that is how you contribute to Boise State NIL without actually having to pull anything out of your pocket. So thank you, Bronco Nation, for joining us on this special edition live from the Boise State spring game. And until next time, go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Community matters, and Blue Elevation proves it. Partnering with Boise State athletes, we bring joy to families in need. Like our Christmas on the Blue Outreach, blessing children from the Boise Rescue Mission. Together with Bronco Nation, we spread cheer, hope, and support at home and abroad. Blue Elevation, where community and compassion meet. Give at bronconationupdates.com/become.